Hi Katian, here's some feedback on your 11-16 PB. This is an insanely well played run. Congratulations. Um, really, really good. You should be very proud. On that note, though, we're about to nitpick and tear this run apart and make you feel bad about yourself. But you shouldn't feel bad about yourself because it's a really good run. Um, so we've got sixth instance wall. Really based background to your wall. That definitely helps you go faster. Um, Looks like we're only resetting for um, beach with trees, which is just objectively the right way to to reset. On low instance walls, you can make a case for having to cope, but when you're going for times like this, yes, only ever go for beach with trees. Good. First one has nothing. Second one has something. I think probably the biggest time losses of this run is this scuffed BT. On rewatch, it's pretty easy to see, especially with hindsight, that the spike only appears when you cross this red line over here, meaning that it's that chunk. But in the moment, it's quite hard to pick up on that, which is why you should use thin BT. Um, that's going to be the biggest, the easiest way to do bury treasure faster is use thin BT. Um, but if you're not using thin BT, the one thing you could have done to make this easier is here you just jump straight into the water. You've already made up your mind. Um, just went back quite a way. At this point, stop, turn around, refresh your pipe. Yeah, just like do a full spin behind you, and you would have immediately saw that it's not this chunk and it's actually the next one over. Um, so I think earlier, right? Yeah. So now you realize, but you're already in the water and you've lost two air bubbles, and that leads to this scuffness. Yeah, you realize you've got to dig there. It doesn't. It's three deep, so it doesn't matter. You just decide to tank this damage and death reset, which isn't. It's a way to handle it. But if you'd stayed out of the water longer, and done a proper scan, you would have seen that it was one further over. You could run along the land to get there, which would have been faster. You would have been able to get it with only taking a little bit of damage and then just carried on, and that would have saved you a bunch of time. Um, yeah. Unfortunate. Little hesitation deciding where to go. Um, um, is there not a case to be made for with these really tall trees going? Can you not be in your inventory? I'm trying to look at things. Placing a block closer to the birch tree so you don't hit your head underneath these oak leaves. Placing a block and putting the TNT up one, just that will give you more logs. I think I don't know how many logs you actually get in the end. Also, gold pressure plate. I think the play there was probably iron pressure plates and then making a gold shovel, and that way you only use up one gold rather than two. And then you have two distraction golds for going into the bastion, potentially saving yourself from taking damage. Because in this run you have to distract a piglin on the way to the bastion, and then you have to do manhunt housing with no distraction gold, which could have gone very badly. So I think you could have saved yourself some gold by making the iron pressure plate instead and just making a gold shovel. How much wood do we get? 8 logs. 8 logs. 8 logs is Um, once you've made doors, crafting table, and sticks, it's not a whole lot. And the boat, yeah. So we've got what 15 planks. That's 5 beds, clearly you're comfortable with going for 5 bed zeros. Well, I think you go for a 5 or 6 explosive zero. Um, but I think if you go on 1 up, you'd have had a little bit more wood, um, and then it just leaves you the possibility of getting more beds, which can lead to way more comfortable zeros, which is just nice. And it wouldn't have cost you any time at all. Have to pause to what's the word? Pause to get this 2x1 right, which would probably cause problems on the retime. I don't know if this is just an off day for portal building for you, or if you need to practice those 1 deep 2x1s a little bit more. They are really difficult. Also, I think it was maybe because you didn't have a door in your hotbar, which you weren't expecting. And so you had to pause to think how you're going to rectify that. Immediately spots the fort, turns the pie chart back. You don't have to do that. I mean, when you're doing your portals, it's just you're usually not doing anything else in one of the 2 portal animations. One of the 3 portal animations, because you have a portal animation on the way back from the overworld. So, like, just like the thing about changing your pie chart there while you're running to the bastion is you're sort of hurrying yourself for no reason, if that makes sense. Like, when you're doing it in a portal animation, you just have all the time in the world, but when you're doing it while you're running to a bastion, you're just giving yourself extra things to think about. Doesn't particularly matter in the grand scheme of things, but I think it's a little bit nicer and cleaner. This thing you're doing with placing that gold there, like you can see the potential problem in that you just uh constantly accidentally pick it up again. Which you don't constantly do it. So you just, if you don't get your movement quite right, you might. Oh, late arrival. Drinks fire res now. That's the other thing. You sorted the string really early. I don't think that's at all necessary. The way I like to do housing is, and it's personal preference at the end of the day. But I think generally you want to get all these little inventory sort things into the same, like do it all at the same time. Um, so my preferred order is go loot the chest, and then as soon as you've left the chest, um, you'll usually have gravel, string, and pearls in your inventory from Piglin Trades. So then it's just immediately open up the book, craft coarse dirt, then split string and the pearls, and you can just in a few seconds have all those little bits that you need done, and then when you go to pick up Piglin Trades later, you don't have to do any immediate inventory sorting to get that ready. Or in your case, you could have just while you were down there mining the gold, you could have focused on the mining of the gold without worrying too much about your inventory. I think after the chest is a really good time to do that. Also, coarse dirt, you end up hurriedly crafting it later while you're in the fort. It's it's a really convenient time to do it now when your inventory is not very full, as opposed to later when your inventory's all clogged up with random junk and you're desperately trying to just throw stuff out. If you've already got your coarse dirt crafted, then it's going to make your life a bit easier. Because coarse dirt is one of those things that like doesn't is struggles with a messy inventory, because usually you'll have like 43 gravel and 39 dirt or something in your inventory later on maybe, and so you do the book craft and then some of it gets left behind in those slots, so now there's no empty slots to just shift click it into. So it can be like messy and complicated when doing it later, but when you're doing it, if you do it now, when you've got an empty inventory, it's a lot cleaner. Yeah, it goes, sees that they still got a lot of gold and goes up to do triple chests up here and set a pearl hang. And you make a mistake up here that you handle perfectly well. Also, this is actually a great time to set the pearl hang just now. You don't get particularly much more of an advantage, I think, from setting the pearl hang from up on the triple chests. And what you end up doing, because of unfortunate events, you have to set a hurried pearl hang, which doesn't go wrong, but could have. That could have been potentially a 10-second time loss if you hadn't hit the pearl right. So for a safety play that doesn't lose you any time, set the pearl hang now. As soon as you see that you've got free real estate over here, you can take your time to line up the pearl properly and get a really nice pearl hang, and then go loot the chests. But here you just sort of look, see that there's terrain there, and then just leave. Too quick on this. Somehow the piglins see that, and it causes you all kinds of problems. Also, not using SSG looting. I think it's just generally accepted that SSG looting is just faster. You're very clean with this sort of looting. But I think definitely worth. I love that pearl trade there that's just sitting there. That just kind of saves the run, I think, because you just don't get many pearls from down below. If you're not comfortable with SSG looting, I think you need to probably it's worth putting the time in to learning that, because it will save you just a little bit of time. I don't know. Maybe that's stupid. Maybe with optimal play, it's equally as fast or something. But I'm pretty sure it's just. Yeah, there's the coarse dirt craft. As it happens, your inventory wasn't too bad. Get a nice stray here because of the 6 RD. Have you lowered your RD at all? Or done any sort of dynamic? Don't think so. So you're at 6 RD now. You're just running, no F3 screen. You're a talented and well knowledgeable runner, so I'm going to assume that you know how dynamic works. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Yeah, no. Open your F3 screen sooner, surely. I am not an expert at dynamic, to be fair. I could be saying something completely stupid. But I think you want to be looking at your F3 screen to see that you've got 70 on the M and lowering sooner. There wasn't really much time on the fort to sort inventory, but I think there was time to do some of the things, like at least doing a book craft for your wool and nether brick, um, and glowstone ideally. Oh, the instant spawn. Um, and yeah, just has 5 rods, so you just go, just forget about the blaze bed. I think that's a great decision. Um, leave the crafting table there. Um, you're going to be coming back through here, so don't spend the time breaking it and placing it again. Just when you're in the overworlds, just before you come back into the nether, throw out a few things from your inventory so you have enough space for your beds and respawn anchors. And then when you're back in the nether, the first thing you can do is just craft your beds and respawn anchors straight away. There's just, yeah, there wasn't really a need to pick that up. You could have just left it there and never pick it up again for the rest of the run. Overlap bowtie with portal animation. There's a video. I think it was Priffin made the video just showcasing exactly how to do it on Runners Improvement Program YouTube channel. If I remember, I'll link it in the description of this video. Just in case you've probably seen it already. But yeah, just use portal overlap, use overlap portal animation whenever possible. It's just nice. You also just run like unnecessarily far from your portal to do bowtie. Understandable with low pearl count that you only craft 2 eyes now. Unfortunately, only 75.6%. I don't think getting back in the boat. Okay, I don't actually know how calculators work or how bowtie works. I don't use them. I could be stupid here, but whenever I've seen top runners use bowtie, they use bowtie, and when it fails, they just move a little bit to the left or right, don't get in the boat again, and throw another eye, and that seems to work great for them. So based on that information, I'm going to say that what you did getting back in the boat was unnecessary. 90.7% is not what you want to see when you've thrown 2 eyes. It's certainly enough to make you a little nervous. 4 beds, 1 anchor. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you did this. This is crazy. Sorry. Gets the fire res ready. Gonna chuck that on your way back in. No? Okay. I mean, you're not saving it for anything. You're not going to take 3 minutes to. You're not going to take 3 minutes to travel, to your second portal quartz, and you're still in a portal animation. Yep, it's portal animations again. I'm sorry, I can't get over this. Use your portal animations. I'm gonna be going on about this forever. Just chug it then. You had. Eat this on your way in. Immediately start drinking that. There it would have gone, and yeah, you had time to drink it there. And then you just wouldn't have to worry about that again. Terrain nav. Was there free real estate where you entered? I don't know. I don't think so. I think this was the correct decision. I think. You would have had a better idea. Runs past some. I think this is the correct decision. There's open terrain, goes to check it. It's not as open as you think. Fair enough. Insane find on the terrain here, though. Beautiful. Okay. As soon as you're out here, you have open space up here. Possibly on the risky side, you can't see where you're pearling, but I think even if you land in lava, it would have been faster to just aim a pearl up here jump sprinted pearl, just send it. You can use the time to organize your inventory however you like. You could have used that time to, if you hadn't drunk your fire res, you could have drunk it then. Um, I don't know if maybe you drunk it earlier because that's when your fire res was running out, in which case, fair enough. Um, Use the time while the pearl's going to eat some food. So you have the saturation ready to go, so when you land and you've got 5 pork chops, you're not going to run out. You just instantly heal. Could have saved some seconds by just sending a pearl. As long as you're confident with block clutching and pearl clutching, then you're going to be fine. I understand the play, not wanting to pearl when you can't see what you're pearling to, but yeah, I think given your skill level, given how good you are, you can definitely be way more confident with these pearls to second portal chords. There's just, yeah. This is unfortunate. There's just a badly placed ravine here. Um, um, Probably would have been faster to actually go. Actually, no. Would have been best. You're on 6-5. 6-5 is good enough. That's going to land you at least where you're going to be hitting the stone brick of the starter staircase. It's going to be awkward in the corner, but what you do here with like digging over and then down, I think that's slower because also there's the potential fact that some of those stone bricks might have silverfish blocks. It's kind of wacky, but like easier to dig like awkwardly over and into the starter staircase through the stone bricks than through the regular stone. I hope that made sense. Yeah. Overlap some of the dig down with the eye coming up is good. See, there's a silverfish stone brick block that saved you some of the dig through into the starter staircase. There could have been more of those that would have saved you having to dig awkwardly over through the stone. There's a good spike. Gets an extra pearl, which I think is another crazy save. Like I think you're low on pearls. Yeah, you already have 3. Oh my gosh, the plot armor. Oh my gosh, crazy. Okay. Oh, the nerves. Not the cleanest pearl clip. This causes you problems. Not landing this block clutch properly. How can you do that differently? Um, Maybe I'd say you want to land yourself a little bit further away from the tower so you can line up your pearl better. And then you want to be jumping and moving backwards to stop yourself from clipping so far into the iron bars. And that's going to make your life a lot easier for placing your blocks in the right place and not blocking yourself off like that. And I mean, scary moment when you're already tight for time. You handle it. You don't panic too much. I mean, there's clearly a lot of panic. Insanely low height. I think you had time to go to 90 there. I don't know. Wait, that's the 90 rotation there. Maybe not. Insane that the dragon doesn't fly away. An insane damage. Oh my gosh. Scary. Really, really well played. Really, really good. not a clean setup for the zero, but the actual timing on that was just impeccable. Um, on PB pace, it's just that's wild.
Yes.
Yeah. um, let's see. Anything that I missed? Here, when you're measuring eyes, you go over to kill some pigs. Hold on, I just had a look at your inventory. Three iron. Um, there was sheep right next to it. Um, so at the start, you probably could have got more wood, potentially allowing for more beds. And here you had a perfect opportunity to just get one extra bed. Like you could have very quickly made sheared some sheep, sheared some sheep, and made extra beds. Obviously you had enough explosives to zero cycle in this run. Um, but I think it would have only cost you a few seconds, and with the TNT for more wood, it wouldn't have cost you anything. By doing that, you would have left yourself um, much more wiggle room in if you'd made a mistake with one of the beds, if you had to do maybe a tall tower side setup, which generally requires at least one extra bed to do. Um, like that's an option that you had. Um, I don't know, thoughts. uh, wait, wait, am I just being stupid? You have 12. Oh my gosh, I am being stupid. No, you had tons of wool. You just didn't have enough wood. Okay, okay, no. I- Ignore me. I'm an idiot. Yeah, if you just done your TNT at the start, one up and got a bit more wood, you would have had an extra bed or two, and then you would have had a much easier and less, well, yeah, a much easier zero cycle. 5 beds zero is scary. 6 beds is a bit more, is a bit less. Don't know how you feel about zeros, but uh, yeah. um, um, your inventory at this point is pretty messy. You've got immediately you can see quartz, string, all of these four, one netherrack, and 64 soul sand is not necessary when you have coarse dirt. Normally you'd keep that if you didn't have tons of blocks, but you do. Um, is there a way you could have kept your inventory better organized? Probably. Where could you have done that? Um, uh, hmm. There's always opportunity when you're in the bastion just after looting a chest to if you see something in your inventory that you don't need, loot the chest and then immediately just shift click it into the chest and then leave for a millisecond of time. You take a millisecond of time to just remove something from your inventory and make your life a bit easier later down the line. The best time to sort your inventory is on your way to the fort. Let's have another look at that. How much time did you have? Okay. So you overlap eating with the first, with unhanging the pearl. That's fair enough. Or is it? Because you're on full health and you've only lost half a hunger bar. That is unnecessary eating. Um, unhang the pearl, and then I'd say the next thing you want to do is open up your book and craft wool, nether brick, and glowstone as much as you can before the pearl lands. Yeah, even cancel the eat because you realize it's unnecessary. Here, it's a lot of running. Oh yeah, and then you throw the pearl. Could have thrown that pearl higher. Yeah, definitely could have. Take an extra second to line up this pearl. Throw it higher and closer to the forts. That'll save you some running time. And then you can use the time to sort some more inventory. And then you would have just been. So you would have had less running time to the forts, and you would have just been. And you would have been much better prepared for later in the run when you have to do crafting. And then yeah, once you're in here, you need to immediately. I've covered this already. Immediately open F3 and do your dynamic. Yeah. So yeah, just to recap, big time losses are that scuffed buried treasure at the start. Um, uh, trying to think. Oh yeah, potentially lost time to. I think could have been a better dynamic RD. Um, you could have got your rods maybe slightly faster, though you did get them very quickly. I think this manhunt housing could have gone better. Oh, there's so many zombie pigs. Oh, that's something to cover. Sorry, I'm still not done. Um, um, when we're entering the nether. So we pause. We get the spike. We immediately unpause. So when you unpause, that's when stuff like packs of zombie pigmen start spawning in. So they're going to prefer to spawn in the chunks that are already loaded, as opposed to the chunks um that are further away. And the chunks that have just loaded are the chunks including your bastion. So by immediately unpausing as soon as your bastion appears, you give yourself a higher chance that zombie pigmen will spawn inside your bastion, which is what happens, which is going to impact how many pigs are able to follow you in the manhunt, which means that, like in an ideal manhunt, you you get a million pigs trading down there. You get that double chest, you come back, you grab your trades, and you're just done, and you're out. And it's a 1 minute bastion, and it's great. So what you want to do in these situations is once your bastion's loaded in, it won't cost you anything on the retime because it's a dimension loading pause. Just stay paused for a little bit longer. Let a few more chunks load. Gives you an extra bit of time to breathe as well. It's great. And then you can unpause and locate your bastion, and you have a better chance that you won't get scuffed zombie pigs. So yeah. And yeah. Okay, I think I've covered everything that I could. Yeah, I'm sure you're aware, but you probably could have done a better job with blocking off lava, like placing blocks above the lava to let more pigs through. Looks like you've only got like 4 pigs following, and I think one of them couldn't follow because of the lava. also, if you see that you haven't got many pigs following you, maybe you wanna then just take a detour up to middle of housing and turn manhunt into a mid down. Maybe. Um, it will give you more pigs. But also just carrying on with your manhunt is just it's yeah, it's probably the right play because it's just you just rely on luck to make things faster. You're not playing ranked or anything, you know. Yeah. All right, I've waffled for long enough. I hope this made sense. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, if you'd like to shout at me for being an idiot, then you can at me on Discord in your feedback channel. Yippee! Good job. All right, see ya.